All right, guys, welcome back to another Sunday. We're gonna first start out on our taken trades from last week. Turn the brightness down. This lamp here looks like I need some sun or less sun. There we go. It's better. Let's do blue. All right, so Euro CHF. Last week we did take the sells on this. It was a higher risk setup. Why was it a higher risk setup? Well, over the last few months, we have been studying lower time frame trades, and basically this huge liquidity grab, and it came to retest this area of interest for the sells. We're just adding basically fair value gaps and support and resistance, and um yeah, basically fair value gaps is what we're adding into our trading plan. As you can see, we had a head and shoulders pattern, which we trade very regularly, and we had the huge break. And then here's the retest where we're like, oh, we could have thought of getting in here. We thought this was the retest, but we waited until it broke above our 4 hour area of interest even before we got into this trade. Um we saw the doji, we saw the shift to structure potential, and then we got in on the 15-minute time frame. That's when we got in. I can see price action pushed all the way up here and then tagged our 15-minute area of interest, our 30-minute head and shoulders, where we entered on this huge bearish engulfing on the candlestick close retest. We entered here. We saw initially it pushed and then came back, and we entered here, and then you can see it did continue to push again. Our stops, we are learning to adjust our stops a little bit bigger because the market has been learning to, or adjusting to the new markets by giving it more leg room, because the market has been more unpredictable and aggressive. As you can see, price action moves a lot faster now with Trump being our president. There's a lot changing in today's world. So we pushed our stops a little bit higher. Normally, we could have put our stops above this. As you can see, we'd have been wicked out. But and then we could have put our stops here, but we actually pulled our stops in deep, extra deep, and pulled our stops above this high here, this highest wick. We went above the highest wick here just in case price action did decide to do one of these again, jump up here and bounce around and just test these levels once again. You can see there is some resistance here. So that's why we went above those levels on that trade. You can see we still received a 2.5, 1 to 2.5. Beautiful. Came in, tagged our take profit, and then look at that. Boom. Look how perfect that was. And then once again, bounced around, head and shoulders formation here, then broke, retested, and then proceeded to dump once again for another beautiful trade that we did not take. At this point, we were not watching the markets because we were already green on the week. Next one is AUD USD. I did take, was this last week? That was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? Yes, that was 2 weeks ago. So we did not take a trade on this one, did we? I don't believe so. I don't know why this was in this chart. So we're going to put that there. GBP AUD, this was a beautiful setup here, called out early on Monday morning. This happened very, very fast. We had the shift of structure here, bearish engulfing on the 30. Here's the break. Here's the doji. Here's the retest. There's the sell-off. So this happened bright and early on Monday morning. Where is it here? There it is. When we were doing our live call on Monday morning, we had the shift to structure here on the 15 minutes. As you can see, here's the push, shift to structure, bullish, push, and there is the bearish push. There's the retest of that 15-minute area of interest right there, where it hit this fair value gap in between, closed it out, and then sent it to grabbing liquidity to the downside. As you can see, take profit was dang near to perfection. And then it proceeded to bounce around and then make its way back up into making a new higher high. And then GBP CAD, Same thing with GBP AUD followed the same exact market structure. Here is the left head, right shoulder. I can see here left head, right shoulder. There is the bearish engulfing there, or shift to structure, and then that huge candlestick is the bearish engulfing. We entered on the retest of this 30-minute area of interest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 touches right there below our EMAs, and then came back and scaled in at this area of interest here, using this as resistance to then push us to the downside. And this, like I said, this happened bright Monday morning as well. So those are our 3 trades from last week. Now let's get into this week's trades. So we set our charts to the absolute bottom. All right. I'm gonna grab a sip of water and then we're gonna jump right into it. NZD JPY. So looking at this chart, what do we see? I see bearish weekly. Weekly is bearish. We're on the weekly chart. We have a left head, right shoulder. Here is the push. Right here, there's your push. There's your retest. There's your sell. But that doesn't make sense. Did it fill this wick? Yes. Okay, so weekly's bearish. Let's go down to the daily, see what we're seeing on the day. Daily's bullish, beautiful structure. Looks like it could push again to the upside at a daily area of interest. Beautiful, beautiful. We have an inverted head and shoulders here on the daily. Looks like prime entry could potentially be now. We have a doji candlestick from Friday. We're having a bullish push currently. 4 hours should be bearish. Yes. We're at a 4 hour. So we have what was weekly again? We have bearish, bullish, bearish. I do like the thoughts of buys, even though we don't have 2 time frames in sync. We have a 4 hour EMA here at a daily area of interest with an inverted head and shoulders, with a retest of the neckline with a push. 1 hour at our 1 hour area, our 1 hour EMA as well. Our 1 hour is higher high, higher low. It is bearish. So what does that mean? We want to see the push into this fair value gap here to close that off, and then the retest the inverse fair value gap to then push us to highs back up here. So this would look something like this. And we could go nice and tight like this on our stop loss and then push highs like that and go for a 1 to 3. But I am liking to start to give a little bit more breathing room for those trades and, risk less and be able to get, roughly the same amount of return on that. So in reality, we're going to set an alarm here, actually. Wait for a higher high, add an alert. Right there, we're going to name it higher high on 1 hour, like that. And then I'm also going to put alarm here for daily AOI, like so. So that is what we're waiting on this one. This would be a high risk setup. Like I said, I like it. I like the buys back into this daily area of interest and the bounce between these 2 zones. There is a chance that it hits this daily EMA and rejects and rejects and rejects and just melts off again and bunch. And if that happens, we will be, like I said, we're waiting for the 1 hour to shift to structure first and then to sell off. So we're going to put this waiting for entry. CAD CHF. All right. So we have bearish, bearish, way bearish. and underneath all these zones, lots of consolidation in that area of interest there on the weekly. Daily is bearish, and 4 hour is bearish. 4 hour is bullish. No, 4 hour is higher high, higher low. Yeah, 4 hours bullish. So let's go to 1 hour. 1 hour is bearish. Really not interested in this trade. CAD, AUD, CAD. All right. Weekly is bullish. Higher high or lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, shift to structure, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Here we are below. Get rid of this, get rid of that. We are below a weekly area of interest and we're below a weekly EMA. So daily should be bearish. Yes, daily is bearish. 4 hour should be bearish as well. Yeah. Head and shoulders, left head, right shoulder. I could see price action for 1 hour. I'll be interested in this trade at this area of interest. As of now, this trade is ugly. I'm just gonna put this in my on the way. Euro NZD. Like I said, AUD is ugly. AUD CAD is not a pretty trade, so we're just gonna. There is potential in it, and we'll break it down once it does get into our zone, and then we'll go from there. But as of now, it is not very pretty. We don't even need that anymore. Euro NZD on the weekly. Bullish, daily, bearish, head and shoulders potential. Okay. 4 hour should be bearish as well. No, it's actually bullish. Higher high, higher low. Ideally, we will see price action pull up into, we will see this. And then we'll see the sells. That's my thought process on this. So, 4 hours bullish, higher high, higher low, shift lower higher high, higher low, shift to structure, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, bullish. Okay. So 4 hour and daily are both bullish. Left head could sell off though. Well, actually, 4 hours bearish. I don't know. I was thinking lower high, lower low, like that. No break before. Okay. We're at a 4 hour. Could have head and shoulders. So what I'm thinking is, okay, so we have lower high, lower low. So 4 hour is bearish. And then we have structure. We have huge push here once it hit this area of interest at this 4 hour area of interest. Remember, my yellow boxes are 4 hour areas of interest. We do have our 4 hour EMA coming in and pushing it and using it as resistance. Right now, we have price action is actually above the 4 hour EMA, using it as support. And that's why I was thinking that we could potentially see the push up into this area, this head and shoulders once more time before we see the initial sell off, which would mean that the 4 hour would stay bearish until it broke above this zone. Then it would be bullish, and then we'd have 4 hour and daily bullish. Yes. But if that doesn't happen and price action still continues to push up here, we will have the weekly bullish and the daily bullish, which gives us the 2 time frames in sync. Higher high, higher low, shift to structure, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, giving us? Well, is this a lower low? It's hard when price is at an absolute high. So quite frankly, do we want to play this? I could see the buys on this. Like I said, I could see the buys all day. I'm actually I don't like it. But I'm gonna keep this in my on the way tab because I want to watch it. It's one of those things like you want to study these. So because I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen a trade that let this setup play out. I'm thinking that we will see the push back up to fill this gap, to fill this huge gap right here with and grab all the liquidity inside this gap here, right? So with that being said, like I said, I want to see us push, grab the liquidity, tag this area of interest, this strong area of interest at the head and shoulders neckline before we see the push, the sell off. And we're going to see the sell off and it's going to hit and it's going to do one of these and then it's going to dump below this 4-hour area of interest and then it's going to sell off. So we want to be sitting here waiting for the trade like this, you know. This is what we're looking for. Ultimately, something like that. I mean, we don't need it to be that big of a stop loss, but probably about there. And that's the trade that we're looking for, potentially catching this all the way back down. You know what I mean? Like that. So I like the idea of buys on this until the sells. So we'll see. NZD CAD is our next one. Weekly is bullish. Daily is bullish. 4-hour is bearish. All right. Weekly. Bullish, bullish, bearish. Bullish. Higher high, higher low. Is there any type of resistance level in here? Yeah, there's a daily area of interest right there. Let's get rid of this 4-hour area of interest and put in how do we find our areas of interest? Going from the higher high and the higher low, finding 3 consecutive touches. Right there, we can do a big box like so, like I believe. I get not that purple, do this purple. Let's make sure this is 40 pips. Okay, that works for me. We could suck it in smaller. And we could put it because the reason why it's so big is because this is an area of interest right here too. Up here. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But we're not gonna draw that one right now. We're just gonna wait for um to see what happens. Basically, what I think is gonna happen, as you can see right here, look at this. Price action came right here. So this is the same. Went from down here, pushed, right? Gave us some structure, broke below doji, pushed here and here. These two prices at the same time pushed, right? And now they both rejected this area here, or this area of interest here, at the top of this area, and at the bottom. So let me draw it out for you so you can see it visually. So there's the area to like right there. See that? How it's got stuck. It got stuck between these two zones. And now it's gonna sell off. Well, I don't know if it's gonna sell off, but there's a chance that it just does the exact same thing it did here. But with that being said, it would have to push below, have a candlestick closure below this structure, making the 4-hour, the daily bearish as well, to then have the retest of this area of interest. And then that's where we're looking for the sells, where we'll look to enter the sells again. So this one I want to put in my watching. 4-hour is already bearish, and we're at the 4-hour EMA already. Now we're just going to be patiently waiting for an entry. Next one is USD CAD. Weekly is bearish, higher high, higher low, bearish engulfing scissor structure, retest. This looks like a left head, right shoulder potential, selling off. Daily should be bearish as well, higher high, higher low, so it's actually bullish. But it does look like we do have some bearish structure, bearish trend going on here. In order for this to shift bearish, we need a candlestick closure below this. 4-hour is higher, lower high, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, shift of structure, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And it does look we never got the bearish close below, so we are actually still bullish. But there is a lot of potential to see the sells. Yeah. Oh yeah, left head, right shoulder. I could see sells all day. Higher risk just because our higher time frames are bearish, bullish, or actually, what did I say? Weekly's bearish, daily is bullish, and 4-hour is currently bullish. But there's the chance that this is we're gonna go above this fair value gap. You see the fair value gap here? We're gonna go above that fair value gap, and is it worth trading it to here? Or do we chase it down to structure here for a 1 to 2, all the way down here? We could just go right there and get a 1 to 4, or 1 to 3.5. This is a higher risk trade, 1 to 2, like so. On the 1-hour, I do like that we do have, like I said, another left head, right shoulder. Stop loss is above structure here, bearish shift, 30 minutes here. Also bearish engulfing on market open currently here. And now we are seeing the sell-off push. Yes, double top, triple top formation, random breakout, liquidity grab up here for double. This is a triple top break with a liquidity grab to grab your stop losses before you saw a huge sell-off. There is a bearish engulfing. There is the neckline retest of the triple top formation, and there is the sell-off once again. I like this trade. I am going to put this in my watching. It is still a little too early for me to want to jump in a trade currently. It's only 7:23 right now. I do like to wait until a little bit later in the night to enter trades on Sunday. But it looks like it's going to be a beautiful week, so I'm not really stressed out on trying to get into the first trade that I see. I like just want to watch them play out a little bit to see what the market is going to be like for this week. Next one is AUD CHF. We got weekly is bearish. We have a huge rejection off this left head, right shoulder. EMA retouch. We had a bearish engulfing neckline, or not a neckline, my bad. Well, it could have been left head, right shoulder. Here is a wick in to retest this area of interest, weekly area of interest here before it sold off once again. So weekly is bearish. Daily is also bearish. This is one of those trades where I've been saying for a long time that I think this huge wick's gonna fill, and I think it's actually starting to happen. So we'll see. Daily is bearish as well. Left head, right shoulder coming back up into a daily area of interest. Very strong. 4-hour is bearish as well. We do have two dojis giving us a push back into the daily area of interest at a 4-hour area of interest here. Let's grab that zone right there. Turn this yellow. Let's delete this box and delete this box because it doesn't matter. Oh, I don't know what I just deleted. Let's bring that back. There we go. Okay. Price action is coming back up. We are above the 1-hour EMA, which we'll find out in 30 minutes here. So the higher time frames look good. Lower time frames are looking sloppy. 15-minute has no structure. 30-minute has no structure. No structure, no structure. 4 hour kind of I like the thought that of this going up here, shifting, messing around, giving us some structure in here. You know what I mean? Shifting and doing one of those. So I like the thought of waiting for some structure, price action to come up into here before we look for the sells to fill that wick right here. So next one, NZD USD. Bearish, way bearish. Weekly is way bearish. Lower high, lower low. Daily is bullish. Higher high, higher low. Rejecting a daily EMA. Let's get rid of all this junk here. There is a left head, right shoulder neckline retest right here. I did delete that. I just deleted that box, but I'm gonna bring it right back. And there is a round psychological level there. Yeah, I might as well just bring back that box that I had. I mean, and make it. Let's just make it a little bit bigger there. Well, this is on a daily actually, so this is beautiful. Daily here, daily there. Okay, let's go. What the 4 hour looks like. 4 hour we can bring in even tighter. Like that. We are in. 4 hour is bearish. Okay. Daily is bullish. Weekly is bearish. This one looks high risk. I like the setup. I do. I like the setup a lot. We got inverted head and shoulders, non psychological level, rejection off the daily area of interest, 4 hour EMA. If we break above it, if we break above it like this, that, that'll be beautiful. 1 hour, like that. Yeah, not worth it to me. Junk, too high risk. GJ, GJ. All right, we got left head, right shoulder, push. Weekly is lower high, lower low. Weekly is bearish. We are above weekly area of interest, weekly EMA, and around psychological level. Price is right at around psych. Doesn't matter. Daily is bullish, above daily EMA. Okay. 4 hour is bearish. But if it closes above this structure, it will be bullish. So we're going to set an alarm here. Double top. And would be nice because this is a double top or double bottom right here. My bad. Close, structure, retest, push, and then grab liquidity one more time. And we'll, yes, push, hit this structure point here, slam us back down into a weekly to grab more liquidity, to get more power, to more strength, more oomph, to then get us our final push. We'll be looking for a trade, something so small like this to the top of that structure, like so. GBP and ZD. Weekly is bullish. This is not looking very good. Four hours bullish, daily bearish. Yeah, no, thank you. AUD, NCD. Weekly is bearish. Week break below weekly area of interest. Weekly EMA. Daily's way bearish. 4 hour. No thanks. I guess you can see the rejection there. I think it's how far away is it? December. I mean, lower time frames possibility here. This. Turn this yellow. Let's go what the daily looks like. Lots of wicks, lots of wicks. Yeah, I just don't. That's not worth the headache. AUD, USD. All right. Weekly is bearish. Head and shoulders formation potential. Weekly area of interest rejection. Around psychological level rejection. Daily EMA from Friday push. Daily is bearish. We're having a push pullback. Okay. Okay. Here's some potential right here. 4 hour has to go bullish first, though. That is where things get tricky. But we have a left head, pull up right shoulder, rejected daily. Look how close to daily and the 4 hour are. Where's our 1 hour? Our 1 hour is right in there, too. This is something we could see. It literally could do this. It could just go like this, right? Or if we're lucky, it's gonna do this higher high, da 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 do da, come up here and then bounce around, give us beautiful market structure, beautiful shifts to structure, everything that we need to get a beautiful price action dump. You know what I mean? So if we're lucky, we're gonna get all this mumbo jambo. If we're not lucky, it's just gonna wick up, wick down, which I've seen both happen. So, but I do like the thought of this. I'm gonna set an alarm probably about there, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna put this box here so I know that I'm looking for sells. I'm gonna do one of those, and then we're just gonna put this in our watching. GBP CAD. Weekly is bullish. Daily is bearish, higher high, higher low, shift to structure, bearish engulfing, retest of the 4 hour area of interest. Looks like from last week, we did look like it did take a sell on this 2 weeks ago, so that's glorious. Or a week ago. Oh, wait, that's a take profit. That's GCAT. My bad. Yeah, we took this last week. Um, we got a left head, right shoulder, bearish. Shift to structure. Here's the right shoulder, neckline retest. This is a very I don't wanna trade this just because of look how well respected this 4 hour zone is. 1, 2, 3, rejected, rejected. You can see all these wicks. It's like, do you want to gamble? I don't want to gamble. I like the thought that it's gonna sell. I truly, truly do. And I want it to sell. They close up this, they close up all this action here. But you can see it's dangerous, man. 4 hour. It's dangerous. I don't like those wicks. Let's see, 30 minute. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not interested. I can't. I'm not gonna put money on the line for this. It's too dangerous. Next one is GBP AUD. Same thing with this one. I'm not gonna trade this one either, just because there's no structure here. Way up in the middle of nowhere. Euro CHF. All right, this might be something better. Huge weekly push here. Weekly's bullish. Daily head and shoulders formation looks like. Left head, right shoulder. Looks like we are already having a sell off. This is the one from last week as well. And now we're retesting the neckline for a potential another sell off. Like, yeah, should we go way up there? Then chased here, maybe 4 hour. We're at a 4 hour area of interest. You could just enter and do the same thing we did last week, like so. Bring this in tighter, except our entry would be smaller. Price is very well respecting this 4 hour area of interest as well, though. So there is that is concerning. 1 hour is bullish. We do want to see the lower high push again, higher high. But then we're not gonna enter until that does happen. So we do want to see a lower high and a higher high. We do want to see that. And then we're just gonna wait for the shift of structure on this one. Because why? Because the higher time frames look fairly decent. Weekly, like I said, I think this needs to come back and grab liquidity out of this just because it had that huge push. It needs a pullback. I believe every push needs some sort of pullback before it can continue to push. Look at here, we had a huge push, right? Some pullback, grabbed a bunch of liquidity, huge liquidity grab there to again get that extra little push. And now that we had this huge push, we had a dump huge dump, and now it came back to grab more liquidity to then dump again. And not only did it dump lower than this point, but it came back and then continued to dump to exact same levels. Look at that, retested, perfect. Now it's repeating the process again. As you can see, look how almost similar this is. Here's the low, here's the low, except this had a little, this was a little bit slower, right? There's the push, there's the push, there's the pullback, there's the pullback, there's a huge push, right? There's the huge push, there's the huge push, there's some sort of pullback, there's some sort of pullback. Now, the only difference is we had the pullback below this structure point, and we're right. We didn't have a pullback here. So now it's like, okay, will this pull back into here a little bit deeper, giving us 2 weeks, like two red candles? Is there a pattern to that? Push, two red candles, push, two red candles, push, one red candle, push, three red candles, push, three red candles, push, two candles, three red candles, right? Push, one candle, push, one candle, push, one candle, push, three candles. So, is there a pattern in this? We got a push candle, three candles, two candles, one candle, two candles, two candles, three candles, or two candles, one candle. So this is where I guess I don't know. I like the cells on it. Let's see what over here looked like to this. Was there any patterns? Like that's a defined pattern right there. That's a very defined pattern. Okay, no shift to structure. We did have a shift to structure, higher high, higher low, no shift to structure, higher high. There's the shift to structure there, but there was no pattern broken. Yeah, I like the cells on it. This setup is different than this setup. We also had one huge daily candle, bear bullish candle here. I think we could potentially see another candle. I mean, obviously, like I said, we're gonna wait till we get a higher high and a higher low, and then we're gonna wait for the shift to structure on the 1 hour and even potentially the 30 minute. What does the 15 minute look like? Yeah, so 15 minutes right here at 95559, and 30 minutes is dang near the same spot. Um, so we're just gonna wait until a lower high and a higher high, and then we're gonna wait for the shift to structure to look for the cells. Next one is USD JPY. All right. What do we see here? Weekly is bearish. Daily is higher, lower high, lower low, bearish as well. 4 hour is bearish as well. Quite frankly, I think this is kind of ugly. Inverted head and shoulders. We're pushing. I'm pretty sure price action is going to come back into this weekly area of interest. Price is probably going to push like this, retest, push above, retest, go. I'm not interested in this. All JPY pairs, though, I think are going to push. At least the last two that we looked for, I think, right? Yeah, buys and buys. So this is looking like it's going to push. It pushes well. So, I mean, we might be interested in it once it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just not pretty. It's one of those not pretty ones. Yeah, no thanks. I'm just going to stay away. GBP CHF. Weekly is bullish, higher high, higher low. Lots of wick action, lots of wick action. Daily, oof, getting sloppy. That's sloppy for me. Too many days of consolidation. We're bouncing between two very strong areas of interest. I think we need to see a breakout to then see a retest. I don't think we're going to see that this week. Next one, Euro USD. Weekly is that's way over there. We don't need that anymore. Weekly is bullish. We have an inverted head and shoulders. I think we're going to need a pullback. We do already have an alarm set for the pullback from probably a couple weeks ago. Still just patiently waiting for price to come back into a reasonable price. So 4 hour and the shoulders break, retest. We could see resistance levels here. Like so. To then see the sell-off. But does look like it's pushing back down. You can see the curve starting to come in. Price actions coming over, and daily is bearish. 4 hour is bearish. Way bearish. I mean, unless price close above here, we're looking at price action right there, like so. So weekly 30 minute, 15 minute. So like there. I don't know on this one. I'm actually just gonna put this in my on the way chart. I want to watch this to kind of see what's gonna happen. I think we're gonna see the cells, but it's not the prettiest in the world. So yeah, we're gonna go to the next one. Next one, GBP USD. Weekly, way up there. Daily, 4 hour. No, thank you. Not gonna trade this. USD CHF, weekly. Bearish. Weekly's bullish. Higher high, higher low. Okay. Daily. 4 hour. No, I'm okay. You know when you just get that feeling, it's just like, eh. I just, yeah, I just, yeah. That's how I felt about that. Yeah. No thanks. CAD JPY, left head, right shoulder, pulling back. Another JPY pair pulling back into a weekly zone. Daily's bullish. 4 hour is bearish, but it's right at a 4 hour area of interest here. Already rejected, already pushing 4 hour. So Daily's bullish. I bet you this pushes all the way back up. Inverted head and shoulders. 1 hour. Beautiful shift of structure there. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Actually, we're going to turn this gray because it's a 1 hour box. Let's do high risk, high reward. High risk, high reward. We're going to do tight. Like that. Boom. Euro. Next one, Euro JPY. Oh, 1 second. Euro JPY. Weekly is bearish. Well, let's do bullish here. Higher high, higher low. Lower high, lower low. We do have a shift there. Higher high or lower high, lower low. Shift of structure, bearish, doji, push. Daily. There's too much going on the charts here. Just when your charts get crowded like this, it's hard to see. Whatever. That shoulder. You could see the sells. Really not interested in this trade though. No thanks. Put this down here. Next one, Euro CAD. Huge weekly push. Daily, no structure. 4 hour. Got a little bit of structure. Could see the push to fill this gap here. And shoulders formation already pushing. Could go here to there. Risk reward doesn't make sense. Does that make sense? Daily. Could see a full pullback, but two time frames are bullish. This would be a lower time frame trade. Not worth the headache. Euro GBP. Next one. Weekly is bullish. Weekly is lower bearish. Higher high, higher low, shift to structure. Lower high, lower low. Actually, weekly is bullish again. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's weekly's bullish. We're going to delete this. Daily bullish. Structure here. Like that. Like this purple. Yeah, I'm not gonna play this when these two zones are too tight. Because you would be playing literally. That's what you'd be playing. Like that, you're not gonna trade a 1-to-1. I mean, some people do, but I'm not going to. I don't risk enough to play 1-to-1. I would only make it wouldn't be worth it to me. Euro AUD. Next one, weekly's way up there. Daily, no structure. 4 hour, nope. I mean, there is a head and shoulders. 4 hour is bullish though, and it's above a 4 hour EMA. This could easily just continue to push up into these fair value gaps up here. So that's it for the week. Those are our watch list. That's gonna go to the junk pile. So let's go actually go over gold really quick. We did take a killer gold play. What was it? Friday, when we weren't supposed to trade. We saw a beautiful setup. We alerted it, and it ran for like I think it was 100 pips twice, 200 pips total. So let's take a look at gold and see what we can do for this week. If there is an opportunity for us, we are gonna take it. Weekly's bullish, daily's bullish, 4 hour, 4 hour. See, that's what I like to see. 4 hour structure is beautiful. I think we could take the sells. Well, it's already happening. Rejection, fair value gap rejection, 1 hour EMA. Yeah, I think we're gonna sell. I think we are gonna sell all day. But does that make sense? That's a 1-to-1. See, that doesn't make sense. I want to be above this fair value gap because it easily sell off like it did. Hit this zone here. See, these are the buys that we took, right? These are all the buys that we take. I want to see the sells. Yeah. So this is from all the buys. They could easily come back here. Yeah. Okay. I like that. Go another 1 hour again. So these are all our buys from Friday. Boom. We closed out here at 24. It pushed to 26, just like we thought it would. That was our final take profit, but it didn't hit this on Friday. And you see Friday ended here at 24. That's where we closed out. And then did end up hitting final take profit at 26. And then beautiful rejection came back. And I bet you it comes back, retests right here. I'm going to be sitting here once again for the buys. Stops right here. And I'm going to run it right back up. I'm going to set an alarm right there. And then we're going to go to our 15. Actually, we're going to have to go down to our 1 minute time frame and run our 1 minute setups, wait for EMAs to come in, give us our entry signal, and then we're going to enter and take a nap, see what happens. I do like that. I'm actually going to bring my alarm up to about 18 here. 30 minutes once again. Do we want our stops that low? Do we need them that low, or should we bring them in a little bit higher? I'm actually going to keep my stop loss will probably be about 13 there. 13. Entry will be anywhere between 17 and 15.5 is where I'm gonna be looking for an entry, and stops are gonna be below 13. If we do get an entry down here at 15.5 area, I am gonna just bump my stops just a little bit bigger down to probably 12 range or 12.5, just to give that extra little breathing room because we did get an extra couple pips in there. So just to play it safe, we always like to be safe. It's a market moving fast, crazy, and if you ever traded gold, it is very aggressive. So let's go over our watch list for the week. We have NZD, JPY waiting for the pullback to then buy. USD CAD, we're coming back up into our zone here. We're looking for an entry signal to then sell. Actually, we could be looking at it right now. 4 hour is bearish. Beautiful rejection, 5 minute close. We could be seeing our entry signal here very shortly. I'm going to set an alarm for here. You add looking for entry. Oh, I like this. I like this. Okay, I'm going to bring our stops in tighter. 4 hour is bearish. Came back, retest right another potential entry here. I do not like this structure here. Look at this. 2, 3, 4. There is something, some serious zoning going on right here. And that is concerning. We could literally do one of these, get in this trade, get into profit, come in here, and then retest, and then just fly back up, right? Easily could do that. Honestly, it would be smart of us to actually stay out of this until we see this break and then get in entry on the retest here to then try to chase it low. So we'll see. Our gold alarm did just go off. So that is beautiful. NZD CAD. We are waiting for the break and the retest to then sell, which everything. This is going to be a beautiful week. AUDCF waiting for the retest to then. I do have sells waiting for the retest up in this daily area of interest, waiting for action to go bullish, then have a shift to structure again to then sell. GJ, we're looking for buys. I already can see we have a huge push. We're waiting for the pullback. I want to see a retesting of this fair value gap here to then retest this area of interest, then buy, grab liquidity before it does take off. Right now, there's nothing pushing it up, and I want to see the pullback liquidity grab to then buy. CAD, JPY, same thing. I want to see this closure above this zone to grabbing, and then pull back to grab liquidity to then buy. AUD, USD, waiting for a pullback to this 4-hour area, 4-hour zone here, or 4-hour EMA, my bad, to then sell. That does mean I to come here, shift structure, go bullish, give us some consolidation, some market movement to then sell. Euro CHF, same thing. We want to see the 1-hour area. 1 hour gives a higher high, and that does have a shift to structure, making it bullish to then give us a lower, higher low to then higher high to then shift to structure, giving us a lower high and a lower low to then sell. AUD CAD, we are just watching, waiting for it to come back up into our weekly area of interest. Euro NZ, we have 2 different price action pinpoints. We want to see what does happen. We do believe that price is going to come up here, get pushed with the 1-hour EMA and 4-hour EMA, pushing us into this and head and shoulders on the 4-hour to then give us our initial liquidity grab to then sell. Euro USD, same thing kind of as Euro NZD. We want to see it pull up into this neckline here to then sell. That is what I have for this week. If you have any questions, please ask away. I said gold alarms did just go off, which is beautiful. We are looking for this. We will be having more alarms set, and candlestick closes in 1 minute. So we're going to see what happens. I bet you we're going to have this huge pullback like this, and then we're going to come back, grab liquidity one more time to get us another push to then bounce around in this structure to then push up here. Or if that doesn't happen, I said price could potentially pull back here to then push, pull back one more time into this area to then push again to the downside. This is a high risk gold trade, but either one is completely possible. We will not enter this trade unless we get our 1 minute time frame confluence and entry signal to then buy. Other than that, this thing is going to continue to sell off because we did have a beautiful neckline retest of this 4-hour EMA, or not EMA, area of interest on top of our head and shoulders pattern to then potentially fill this wick into our 4-hour EMA. That is what I have for this week. Once again, thank you. If you have any questions, please, please, please ask away now.